Hey, so today we're going to talk about the perfect life balance formula. So, in today's world, we become so accessible to technology, to people, to work, to, we get so engrossed in our phones and we get so engrossed in certain aspects of our life, and then sometimes we neglect other parts. So, I've put together a sort of life balance formula that is something you can really easily implement into your life to make sure that you're getting a nice rounded balance and that you're not sort of paying more attention to one and neglecting others, which can often lead to conflict within family, within relationships, and with work. So, what we're going to talk about is, as I said, our life balance formula. So, let's crack on. So, this is basically what I've put together. So, it's just a little formula, as you can see on the right hand side here. So, the four sort of big components of your life that are more than likely the most important things. Maybe there's a couple of things that are different, but for me, this is what the big important things in my life are. So, what I do is on a Sunday night, and this can be any night, whatever works for you, after you've done your food prep, possibly, you can sit down and if you have a little notebook, I have a whiteboard that I do this on every Sunday night. I put together my little list of, putting together what I'd like to achieve out of this week. So it could be family, what I'd like to achieve with my family this week. So, some weeks you mightn't get to take your children to school, or you mightn't be able to do homework with them, or you mightn't see them for a few days. But it's important to make sure that, you try and make that time just as importantly as you make time for your work, your self-development, and your health. So what I do with family time, I might make my list. So my goal this week is to get a date night with my wife Caroline. Um, I might make time for walking Sienna to school, or I might make time for just family time where I might be able to take them to the park or the playground, and just block off those times and make sure that it happens, because it's really important, and we can get carried away, each week with not doing these things, or as I said, concentrating on other things rather than the important ones. Okay, so then generally, if you have it written down and diaried, it's something that you'll do. So work is the next one. So in my work, obviously I'm self-employed with complete personal training and YouFit In. We have lots of things that we have to do every day with regards sales, business development, marketing, client sessions. We do lots of training, seminars, retreats, etc. So every sort of Sunday, as I said, I sit down, I then write my work heading. So what do I want to achieve out of this week? Whether it's, make a certain amount of sales, do a certain amount of business development, whatever it may be. I might put together a marketing plan, but just have a clear idea in your head what you'd like to achieve. And then when you get to the week, end of the week, and you've achieved it, you have that sort of feel good factor. Same with your family. Like, did I get my date night? I got my kids my time. I got my family time. Did I get my sales in? Did I get my business development that I wanted? Did I get my marketing plan done? And then it just gives you something to work towards and make sure you achieve it, but also give you that balance. The next one, which may or may not be something that's massively important to you, but it's important to me, and I make sure I give it the time that it requires during the week. So self-development might be just, reading a book. It could be a self-development book. It could just be, an autobiography. It could be, anything that you're interested in that gives you that time, that helps you sort of develop and progress in your personal life. So I like to study, so I'm doing more psychology courses. Every pretty much day I set aside some sort of time to study, to make myself better, or learn more, or study more, whatever it may be. And it's generally with regards, it could be business, it could be psychology, it could be fitness, it could be fat loss techniques. So every day I generally set aside a certain amount of time to do that. And at the end of the week, as I said, if you get that done, it just gives you that little goal, and it makes you feel good that you have that sort of part of your important formula and balance completed. So the last one, and certainly not least, is your health. So what we need to make sure is, and if you don't put time to this, the others will suffer. And by looking after your health, you're actually going to become a far better version of yourself to be more efficient, more effective at your work, more efficient, and be able to be a better father or mother or sister or brother with regards to your family, and also with regards to your self-development. You'll have a lot more time or a lot more energy, a lot more concentration, a lot more mental clarity if you have your health sorted out. So it's really important to put time to this. So as you know, we run boot camps, we run personal training, we run semi-private personal training, we run online training. So it's important to get your sessions in and again, block off your time for your workouts, just like you have time for collecting kids or going to work or going to meetings or having deadlines. You have to block off the time for your workout. You have to block off time for your diet. And also something that I like to do from time to time to relax if I get stressed or anxious or things like that. I block off time for meditation, and it might seem trivial, but it really does help with your development and with your health to keep you de-stressed and make sure that you are being the best version of yourself. Because as I always say, if you don't block off time for these things, nobody else will. You're in full control of your life. You're in full control of the direction that you're taking it. So please make sure that you block off time for these 4 components: family, work, self-development and health, and watch yourself bloom. Enjoy.